After watching this video, you'll never struggle with your Waze app again. I'm going to show you settings, little tricks, and super important adjustments that'll let you use it without glitches, without problems, and without bad surprises during your trip. So tell me, who has never had issues with the Waze app? The GPS sends you on the wrong road, it misses a speed camera, or worse, it makes you take an underground road that nobody uses while the app doesn't warn you. You end up stuck in huge traffic jams. Basically, we've all been there. But today, I'm going to show you how to avoid all these issues thanks to simple but super effective settings. So grab your phone and follow me step by step. I'm using an Android, but on iPhone, it's exactly the same. The settings are identical. At the top left, you have these three little lines. We'll click them first. You arrive on a menu and click on Settings. Then you click on General, and you'll find another menu. There, we'll start by clicking on Route Suggestions. In the Route Suggestions menu, enable Show Route Suggestions and receive traffic info. Thanks to this, Waze will always give you the best route based on traffic conditions and in real time. And that's exactly what makes the difference. It will be in real time, so no more unexpected traffic jams, no more useless detours. Basically, you have everything in real time, and this is a very useful first setting to avoid major traffic jams or roadworks that haven't been reported yet. We go back to General Settings and click on Refresh Map of My Area. This will let you download the latest version of the map before calculating your route. This way, you avoid roads that will be closed or route errors that have changed since the last map update. So I always recommend doing it manually before leaving. Normally, it's automatic, but by pressing here, you can refresh the map of your area. No more errors. If there have been roadworks and the last updated map isn't current, we won't see the roadworks. By doing this simple action, we'll detect them. We can also prevent auto lock. This way, your screen stays on during navigation and you don't lose sight of the map when your phone locks automatically. Usually that happens when you're in the middle of a roundabout, you lose your bearings and you need to turn. So you have to wake your phone again and restart the GPS. By enabling this, it prevents the phone from locking automatically. We'll also check that navigation is enabled on the lock screen. If your phone locks, the navigation will stay displayed and you'll be able to follow your route without touching your phone. And we'll tick the box to keep Waze in the foreground. This way, even if you receive a call, Waze stays visible in the foreground. The call menu stays behind the Waze app. You keep the directions without interruption. It's super convenient. I unchecked it voluntarily to show you, but when you check it, it will ask you to go into your phone settings. We click on it, there we find Waze, we confirm, and there you go. To allow Waze to make and manage a phone call, we authorize it, which keeps the Waze app in the foreground when you get a call. This prevents the whole GPS interface from being hidden when someone calls you. Now we go back and click on Show Map. Here we have another menu that concerns the map display.
We're going to check that dark mode is enabled, but only at night. If you disable it, it will stay very bright when you drive at night. It's very annoying, it attracts attention, and it's dangerous. But if you set it to night only, from a certain time of day, it will switch to dark mode. So it will be much darker and less tiring for the eyes. We go back. Regarding the map view, I recommend setting it to 2D. In 3D, sometimes it's hard to distinguish the roads and paths. You lose track of where you need to turn. I don't find 3D very readable. Visually, it's nicer, but when you're driving, it's not practical to look at it in 3D. I recommend 2D. Then, tell me if you prefer 3D and if you see an advantage to it. Personally, I prefer 2D. That way you clearly see the route. Like an aerial view, it's clearer, more readable, and you see curves and exits better. And if you want a smoother experience, get this. You put it on the dashboard, connect your phone via Bluetooth, and you have Waze on a big screen, like in a Tesla. I'll put a reliable model in the description. For automatic zoom, I recommend enabling it. This way, every time you get to a roundabout or an intersection where you need to take a direction, the app will zoom in on the precise area, making it much easier to see which way to go. For those who didn't know, you can change the vehicle icon by choosing the car, vehicle type, and color. It's fun. You can add other things. It's a bit of a gadget, but it's there. Now we're going to click on Reports just below. When you click on it, you can choose what appears on the screen. For example, if you don't want to see stopped vehicle, which usually means cars stopped on the roadside or on the emergency lane or whatever, you can click it and disable or enable it on the map. You can also enable or disable the alert associated with the report. I'll let you explore this menu because you can configure everything here, including speed cameras. There are many, but if you don't want to see red light cameras, for example, you can disable them. If you don't want to see bus lane cameras because you never take bus lanes, you just go there and disable them. That avoids cluttering the app and gives you a cleaner display with only the information you actually care about. So it's a great feature because they really let us select what we want to see or not. Tell me in the comments if there were settings you didn't know about. We go back, and here you can enable or disable the view of vehicles using Waze, what they call Wazers. I disabled it because when you see all the little cars coming from everywhere, because people use the app, I think it clutters the map and makes the route less readable. If you scroll down a bit, you'll see the speedometer. When you click on it, you can choose to display your vehicle's speedometer, but you can also show speed limits and overspeed alerts. I found this very useful because it always shows the speed limit, that is, the speed you're currently driving at, and then you can set the alert threshold for when you're about to exceed it. For example, if I'm driving at 50 kilometers per hour, it will beep at 51 kilometers per hour. So I set it to the limit, but you can put it 5 kilometers per hour above, etc. The advantage of setting it to the limit is that as soon as you exceed it, you get a warning, which is much more practical. And of course, you have to enable the speed limit alert that corresponds to everything we configured above. This way, you'll hear when you exceed the speed limit. So, if you're not constantly staring at your speedometer, it's a handy little extra that tells you if you're at risk of getting fined or not. We go back, and for the last shortcut on the map, what I recommend is always showing and enabling the zoom. You'll be able to instantly zoom in and out on the navigation, and it's ideal for seeing and analyzing traffic over several kilometers at once. By zooming out, you can see if there are traffic jams farther ahead, tens of kilometers away. We go back, and now we go to voice and sound. We click on it, and this depends on the person, but I prefer leaving it on alerts only. You don't hear that you have to turn left or that in 200 meters, unless you really need it. You only hear alerts. That avoids distracting you while driving and hearing a voice constantly telling you to turn left, turn right. Anyway, you just have to look at the GPS and you know that in 100 meters you're turning left. So I prefer leaving alerts only. It avoids being distracted by the app, and you're more focused on the road. We go back and click on navigation. Here we'll enable or disable toll roads depending on whether we want to use tolls or not. But if we don't care about using tolls, we need to check that this option is unchecked. Otherwise, it will only send us on national or departmental roads. That will waste time on the route. The small tip on this navigation page is something very simple but really important to disable: unpaved roads. By clicking here, we disable unpaved roads. This little checkbox will tell the app that we don't want to take tiny dirt paths. Often the GPS sends us on tracks. We even wonder if vehicles use them because they're so damaged, just dirt, nobody uses them. Doing this prevents the app from sending us on these small tracks and avoids many problems. I think we've all experienced at least once being tricked by the app and ending up on a road thinking, why did it send us here? So we block that and then we're good. Another little tip on this page, I noticed that selecting the vehicle type and clicking it, choosing taxi, also helps avoid very narrow roads. Normally we're on private. I leave it on taxi, and I find that it keeps us on good roads and avoids going on completely wrecked and very narrow ones. But be careful not to use taxi-only lanes, because then you'll have other problems. So it's useful, but be careful. We go back, and now we're going to the gas station menu. At the gas station, we choose the fuel we use, and it's important to configure it here. So for now, I use diesel, but for those using LPG or gasoline, you'll need to select the fuel you use here. Because when you go back, you can also select it here. If you have fuel cards for diesel, you can select it here. These settings will ensure that when you search for a gas station, it doesn't send you to one that doesn't have diesel, electric charging, or LPG. Thanks to these settings, the app will understand that when you search, you're looking for a station that absolutely has these features. Make sure to check this box. It will update the prices of the gas stations found in the GPS. If you don't do this, you'll get incorrect prices because the app won't have updated the information, and the prices will appear low when in reality they're very high, even if anyway all gas stations are expensive. Tell me in the comments if there are settings you haven't activated, and also settings I might have forgotten. This info will be useful for everyone.
That's it for the settings. What I showed you today is how I use and configure the app I use. And since these changes, I've really seen a big improvement in the app that used to be a bit messy and overloaded with tons of signals and alerts. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe. It supports me and helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.